Today we are doing 2.6 in your booklet. It talks about representing percent. In each case they have a grid. They have a grid that shows 100% of a number. If we were to fill in half the grid, that would be what percent of the 100% is filled in? That would mean that 50% is filled in of the grid. If we were to take that same grid and have, so this is again 100%, and we've filled in 1/4 of it, that would be 25% of the total, or of the 100%. If we took one grid and we filled the whole thing in, that's 100%. And then if we added a second grid and we added 2 lines that we filled in, that would be 100% plus 20%, which would mean 120%. So using grids, this is 120%. Alright, on 2.6, the second side of the page, it talks about taking your 100% grid. So we take our 100% grid and we use it to represent a different amount. So in this case, our grid is 100%, but it is representing 340 pupils or students. They then divided 340 into 100 to get 3.4. So each grid represents, each little square represents 3.4 students. Okay. Then they show a grid that has, so here's your grid, and it has a whole bunch of lines here, and it has 80% of them filled in. So it has all of these filled in, and you can see that on your paper. All of these are filled in. And as how many pupils are under 15? And it says 80% of the pupils are under 15. So we're looking for 80% of our total, which was 340. Another way to write that is to change the percent to a decimal and write 0.8 of, again, another way to write of is times 340. That will give us 80% of 340. If I take out my calculator and do 0.8 times 340, I get 272. So 272 students are under 15. The next question is how many are over 15? I can do this, answer this two ways. I can write 0.2 times, so 0.2% of 340, or 0.2 times 340, which will give me 0.2 times 340, 68. Or the other way I can do this is do 340 minus 272, and that will also give me 68. Okay, so the rest of the students are 68 students are over 15, or 15 and above. On question number 4, it talks about 15% of $100. So you would do, for question number 4, you would do 15% of $100. Again, you could rewrite that as 0.15 times 100, and you will find out that that equals $15. Question C says, what is 65% of $170? Now, if you'd like, you may use a grid to do that. Otherwise, you can do 0.65 times 170. And you will find 0.65 times 170 equals 110 equals $110.50. Please work through booklet 2.6 both sides for now. Hope you enjoyed the video.